In my last video, the biggest point of contention was how scattered the ideas felt. It was done through the hip as an emotional response more than an analytical one. Ironic because I critique that outlook in one of the parts that could have been cut. I'm simultaneously trying to argue that perfect games aren't everything, while also saying that Pong is a perfect game. Then there's this random segment wherein a Cruel Angel's thesis cover starts playing and I try to write prose in order to get the competitive feeling across for an emotional response. This would be fine if that was the point of the video, but it shows up randomly in a video trying to argue 70 points at once. That's not even taking into account the nature of catharsis itself and how many pages could be written on that alone. It's a product of inexperience, rusty skills, and strong emotions after a debate. While my colleagues among that group may find it great, seriously thank you, I don't deserve your kindness, the big trouble that's been nagging at me is my discussion of 3D tennis games juxtaposed with the simplicity of Pong. Pong is an immediate result. Every ball makes a sound effect indicating when you've hit it, and every win/lose has a sound effect too. Whenever I turn off sound effects, the sense of competition and immersion is lost because those sounds subconsciously clue us into what's going on. Pong is a game that banks on your entrancement. You always have an idea of where the ball is sound-wise. The game is set side by side, so every time the ball is thrown, there isn't a lot of moving space in between the two players. Since the paddles are set to one area, it allows the player to focus on just the ball. In a normal tennis game, the character moves around all over the screen. There isn't an immediate space to focus on, rendering it more monotonous as time goes on. It's not fun to run around in circles in an uninteresting environment, waiting for a ball to get you. There is no running around in Pong. Well shit, there's not even an environment. For a formula like this, the simplicity only adds to what the core gameplay is trying to do. It's fast-paced and there's literally nothing to get in the way. A 3D tennis game might have more simulation elements justifying the new technology, but to compare the two is counterproductive when the appeal of Pong lies separate. Fast-paced catharsis. This is the biggest problem with Ninja's argument. He brings up fighting games when the appeal of those is also separate. For some, it's button mashing, and for others, it's the deep combo systems, etc. There are different types of catharsis that can be exhibited. Whether one is better than the other is up to personal preference, but when you bring the evolution of technology into it, I can't help but scratch my head. Pong just is a simple game, and it excels at doing that. You wouldn't compare a hard-boiled action story to a little girl's show and then present technical evolution as your critique, would you? Well, that's it. Pong is a very simple game, so I don't think there's anything I need to explain after that. I just wanted to reiterate these concepts in a clearer, more clear-cut manner. Everything I've said here should be kind of obvious, but I guess that's the tribulation that comes from trying to debate with someone who hasn't actually played the thing you're talking about. Anyway, thanks again for putting up with my irreverence, and I'll see you all later.